and Good Will Hunting too. Stellan Skarsgård in that movie. It's like, I am where I am today because I was pushed.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, you might be right. It may still be evil.
Welcome to SinCast, presented by Cinemasins.
All right, everybody, welcome to the SinCast. This is Chris Atkinson from Cinemasins, joined as always by the voice of Cinemasins, Jeremy Scott.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, and from Music Video Sins, Barrett Share.
Hi.
Today we're going to do something we haven't done in a while because there were pandemics. We're going to preview the next 3 months. It's going to be a sort of fall preview up until the holidays, essentially.
Yeah.
So we'll stop in mid-November, but we're also going to discuss movies that will be out by the time this podcast comes out, right?
Yes.
You're looking at me weird, and I'm like, okay, I guess not.
Yep. At least one or two.
There's a
of them.
couple that will be out by the time we come out with this podcast, but so we'll start with August 6th on this. This is a big release, The Suicide Squad. James Gunn takes over. Remember the whole story. He was about to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then people found some old tweets and said, "You're a bastard," and then he was I guess what we would call canceled for like two months. Warner Brothers came back and said, hey, we like what you did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's see what you do with Suicide Squad. And then he ended up going to be doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 anyway.
Right. I mean, so do you remember the sequence of events? Like, he had, was it Brightburn that he produced?
He produced that.
Because that was the first time that I saw him after that controversy where his name was plastered up. It was like, produced by James Gunn. It may not have been Brightburn, but it was something like that.
It was 100% Brightburn. His brother wrote it or directed it. And I think that was before Disney had hired him back, but after DC had hired him for Suicide Squad.
So DC said, fuck it, we're going to roll the dice and say...
It came out last week. They went to him almost immediately.
Oh, seriously?
Almost as soon as it was announced he was fired by Disney, DC approached him. I want to say it was within 24 hours from the article I read. Because somebody at DC saw the future and knew this was going to blow over. Or maybe somebody at DC just went... We'll try anything.
He's a name. He's
but I remember feeling like Brightburn was being marketed off the controversy more than, like, they were marketing his name, but they were just trying to get people in the seats. I don't think they were marketing his name as, this guy everyone loves right now. I think it was just, he's in the headlines. Let's push it, because he's just a producer. Almost every couple times a year this happens. Like, somebody who's famous produces a movie.
Jordan Peele gets this a lot. Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm excited about Suicide Squad. Or I should say, The Suicide Squad.
Is this going to make money?
I think it's going to make bank. Because it's the first new DC film since Wonder Woman 1984.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And that's a pretty low ceiling. I mean, low basement to have to clear. I think people are geeked about James Gunn's work in general. I think they are able to look at what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy and then apply it to what they're seeing with the trailers here and go, this looks batshit insane in a wonderful kind of way. I think it's going to be awesome. The trailers have me sold completely.
Yeah, this is the first I've watched. I've watched 3 different Suicide Squad things before this one. The first one was the David Ayer, and then I saw I was on that Batman animated Sins video that was basically a Suicide Squad. And then Suicide. There's another Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay, that I've seen,
which is today's Sins video last week.
Yeah, and none of those are anything that's fun to watch, really. Like they're trying to be, but they're just not. And this one really looks like this is how the spirit of this whole thing was supposed to be. Just fun jokes in there. I mean, even John Cena. I like John Cena a lot, but he's been in a lot of just weird, stupid movies lately. But talking about it was somebody. I think Viola Davis says something about a starfish, and John Cena's like, starfish is a nickname for a butthole. Is that what we're talking about? And she's like, no. And he goes, he gets to his notes and he goes, no.
I like the bit where I can't say his name. The guy from The Dark Knight. That Two-Face flips the coin and Batman saves him. David Mastalchain or something.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
He's playing Polka Dot Man, but somebody in the trailer goes, "We're gonna die," and the Polka Dot Man goes, "I hope so." and then Stringer Bell's all like, "Oh, for fuck's sake,
Stringer Bell."
You know how I do. If I can't remember the name, I just go with the character. It looks really funny, and it looks wild. There is a giant starfish, apparently, at the end of this. We've got obscure characters you've never heard of. I think we're going to get some of that humor we got in the Lego Batman, where they were able to take obscure characters and play them for laughs. And, I think this is what James Gunn talent is going to be, taking misfit characters that don't seem like you want to tell a story with them and figure out a way to tell stories.
In a way, he's already kind of told a story like this, right? Guardians of the Galaxy is all about, people who are typically not heroes, becoming heroes.
Yeah, and that's a pretty fair niche. And I actually have been hearing that this movie has a surprising amount of heart. So
you could see a little bit of that even in the trailer. I mean, trailers are trailers, but like the Rat Girl, seems like maybe she's got a little more meat on the bone than just being a rat girl. You know what I mean?
Well, and this is, I think, her first movie.
Oh, is it really?
But I saw James Gunn tweet a month or two ago about how part of the reason she got the job was that the first requirement was needs to be comfortable with rats hanging on your shoulder all day. And like it was her at the audition with rats like crawling all over, and she was loving it. So I wouldn't have been able to play Rat
That's
Girl.
one of those stories where it sounds awesome for this context.
Yeah.
And then later on when we find out that, she's got like, I don't know, like a killer basement or something. It's like a shrine.
That was adorable when she had the rats crawling over.
Just to go back to Brightburn real quick, it's Brian Gunn and Mark Gunn who wrote the screenplay to Brightburn. Nobody of the Gunn family directed it, but James Gunn was a producer on it, as was his other brothers. So
It's a lot of brothers.
Yeah. I think there's even another one.
Anna Gunn.
I don't. She would be a sister.
There's another one too. The one that the guy who acts
Sean
Gunn.
Yeah.
I think there's
Peter Gunn.
So there's at least 4. Yeah,
Peter Gunn. Peter Rabbit.
Gatlin Gunn.
But by the time this podcast comes out, we'll see what a success it is or isn't.
I'm going to say something potentially controversial.
Uh-oh.
I am absolutely geeked to be able to watch a big blockbuster superhero movie at home.
Is this coming out? I keep asking this because I'm a moron.
This is going to be
doing HBO Max?
HBO Max.
Okay.
If you look at anything coming out from Warner Brothers in this next 3 months, they're all HBO.
They're
Max.
all
of the
doing
Warner.
They announced this, I believe, last year, December, January, maybe
Somewhere around
January,
in there.
where they said everything in 2021 is going to be on HBO Max. So if it's Warner Brothers, you can watch it there.
Now, I love the theater. I even occasionally like moments of watching a movie with a crowd, if it's the right movie. But pre-pandemic, my movie-going life was I put a knife in my pocket and I buy 3 seats so that nobody sits next to me. Like, I'm thankful I'm not going to have to do that. I realize that's not everybody's story. This is Jeremy's story, massive anxiety. But I'm not going to have any anxiety watching this movie.
Yeah.
I even told Patrick I'm geeked to be able to pay $29 for this, and he said, "You don't even have to pay for this one; it's on HBO Max."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Yes, yes."
You paid much more than $29.
I don't mean to say that I'm like anti-theater or pro-streaming all the way. This is the first new release that I'm going to watch on opening day at home since the pandemic.
It's pretty rad.
I'm pretty excited, especially with my new TV. Although, from what I hear, HBO Max isn't always great with the 4K. But
HBO Max is not always great with anything, to be honest with you. But
I don't know. I've never had a problem with it. I think I'm trying to remember how I got the Amazon 4K Fire Stick, so it's the HBO Max on there looks good to me. So
awesome.
The next one on this list, even though it's not a wide release, is Annette. I think the reason why you put this on here, Barrett, is you've got Adam Driver, you've got Marion Cotillard, you've got Simon Helberg, who you may know from Big Bang Theory and stuff like that. Isn't that where you know him from? Simon Helberg?
I believe so.
Big Bang Theory?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's a musical, and it looks like it's out there, guys. It's out there. It's one of those, it's an independent. Looks like an independent. It's Amazon doing it.
Yeah.
It's a theatrical release. It looks good. It looks like a solid.
Yeah, I don't even know exactly what this is about. It's
either.
A love story between Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard, and I think she is wildly successful, and he is trying to be, and it seems like some sort of incident happens to where the jealousy or something overwhelms one or both of them. But it's a musical.
Mm-hmm.
The tagline, much like the guy that was getting his butt eaten recently, that was on AV Club and Yahoo. The press coming up to this is that it's the first movie that you'll see someone singing while performing cunnilingus. And apparently Adam Driver does.
Interesting. There you go.
What? Some records don't need to be broken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Do they?
No, Marion Cotillard was the one that said this in an interview. She was like, I think that's the first time that...
okay. I thought you were saying like this was like a talking
it's not a marketing.
point.
No. I don't think so. I think Marion Cotillard just
can't
offered
imagine that either the singing or the cunnilingus would go very well if you were doing them at the same time.
We'll see.
Yeah, don't knock it till you tried it.
But it looks amazing. The visuals look amazing in this.
It does. The IMDb. Now I've seen this trailer twice, and I like, I'm like Barrett. I don't know really what it's about, but IMDb, in a very succinct manner, whoever writes these things, a stand-up comedian and his opera singer wife have a 2-year-old daughter with a surprising gift.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
But that comes out.
I bet it's yodeling.
It's yodeling. It's yodeling.
All of a sudden, they're like, "Whoa!
Yeah,
this kid can yodel."
Yeah,
that's surprising for a
and
2-year-old.
She plays a mean pinball. It says on Box Office Mojo it's coming out on August 6th, and it looks like on the poster on the IMDb it's coming out on August 20th, I suppose, on Prime Video. So it looks like a 2-week run in theaters, and then it goes to Prime Video. Going further down, August 13th, we have, believe it or not, Don't Breathe 2.
Have you seen this trailer?
I've seen this trailer. I've seen all the trailers.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are they trying to make this guy a hero?
Yeah, I think so. Although, even in the trailer, the bad guys in this movie say, because he's got this little girl with him, they say, I don't know who you are, but I know who you aren't, and you want me to tell her the truth or whatever. So it makes it sound like maybe the bad guys are maybe the good guys.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't hope so.
Listen, I'm offended by this. The fact that this movie exists offends me.
Yeah,
I saw the first one.
Yeah,
the first one offended me.
Yeah,
the second one. He's the only character you're going to bring from the first movie into the second movie? You're going to make the franchise about this motherfucker?
Mm-hmm.
And especially if he's not the evil bastard in this one.
The first movie, he was evil, but so was everybody else. They were breaking into his house.
Yeah.
And that is a moral ambiguity I do not need.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, right? Like he's the victim. If you go through his timeline, he's the victim. Mm-hmm. And then and he goes through the courts to make sure that justice is done because it's his daughter dies in a wreck or something. And the courts don't help him out. So then he's like, I'm going to steal that family's daughter, and I'm going to put her in here and inseminate her until she has a baby.
Is this the first time? Is this the most rapid double mention of turkey basters in SinCast history?
I'm going to go ahead and say yeah.
It may be the only mention of turkey basters.
Because there's a turkey baster in this movie.
In the first movie, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to see the second movie. I did not watch this trailer.
Full of Papa Dragon.
I don't care. I think this movie itself is evil. The movie is evil.
The trailer sets up so fucking weirdly, man. And I hope I'm wrong, and I hope, and maybe the whole series is about that moral ambiguity. But moral ambiguity flies out the window when you bring out a turkey.
Is this supposed to be a prequel?
I suppose it's possible.
I really don't. I mean, I actually don't remember if they supposedly killed him at the end of the first film.
I think he either got away or it was shown that he was survived it.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there's some ickiness to the fact that
the whole thing is icky. Yeah, the whole first one was icky. I don't like this franchise. This franchise is not my kind of franchise.
It's not a franchise.
That's true.
It's only a
series.
sequel.
Yeah.
It's not even a series yet. It's just a sequel.
No, but 2 more movies and it'll be a cinematic universe.
Yes, it'll be. Yes.
Right now, it's just a notion, but I think I can get money to make it an idea.
Turkey baster cinematic universe.
Jesus Christ.
The next one on this list for the 13th is Free Guy. Now, Barrett makes a joke that it says previously scheduled for release in 2009. However, this was August 2020 that it was supposed to come out.
Yep.
I was just off. Just a tiny bit off.
Yeah.
11 years.
Okay, so look, guys, I've seen this trailer a lot. I saw it, in the before times. I saw it a lot. And it looks like it's not very good, but I want to see it.
Okay, that is where I break with you. These trailers do nothing for me. And it feels like a very try-hard marketing campaign. Now, maybe this is because they had to sit on it for a year, and so they're going overboard with the marketing now to remind people the movie exists or to confuse people into thinking it's new. Concept, outstanding. I love a good high concept. This is basically what if one of the side non-playable characters in Grand Theft Auto was real and had consciousness. These trailers look bad. This does not look entertaining. This movie is not my kind of movie. I'll be happy to be proved wrong. And I do like Ryan Reynolds. But this feels like a movie where we're relying more on his charm than anything else. I don't know. I won't know until I see it, but I don't have a very good feeling about this at all.
I'm not even talking about the new stuff that we've seen. That Deadpool thing did nothing for me. There's a new one that came out yesterday where he's like a big muscular version of himself. It's like whatever to me. For me, it is the fact that you have. It just looks like it might be fun. Like they don't have any boundaries in what they're going to do in this and everything. And Ryan Reynolds is usually good for, to be funny at least 5 times in a movie.
Yep.
This is an arbitrary amount of times, but at least 5 times. And Taika Waititi is another guy that, he looks fun in this. It's the type of movie that I look at and go, that's going to be terrible. I want to see it. And it might end up being better than I thought it was. But anyway, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is probably the meatiest role for Taika Waititi since
Hitler.
Well, I mean, he was his Hitler is all over Jojo Rabbit, but I don't think he had a lot of screen time. What We Do in the Shadows is what I was thinking about. But he's such a good actor. I mean, even just his deadpan lines as Korg in the MCU is fantastic. And there's just a thing, like you said, like Jojo Rabbit, he is all over that movie, even though his character is only in it probably, a total of 10 minutes or something like that. He is all over Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Even though his Korg only has a few lines.
Mm-hmm.
He really infects, and he's definitely all over What We Do in the Shadows. He kind of infects, in a good way, like an entire movie. So I'm for it, man. I love that guy.
I'm hoping that Free Guy is more Lego Movie and less pixels. But
Yeah.
I think we all are.
but it does seem to be in the vein of those films in terms of, like you said, that's what I'm worried about with the No Boundaries, because this most recent trailer that I saw, I'm not sure it's the newest one, but it just really feels like anything can and will happen in this movie, and I don't know if that's going to keep me tied. I don't know if I'm going to have any stakes.
Yeah, we won't know until we see it, but our expectations are low.
Yeah,
Or
yes,
low.
mine are. Yes,
I think all of us are. All of our expectations are low. Mine is low. I want to see it.
yeah, okay, all right, all right.
Also on the 13th, coming out wide, is Jennifer Hudson as Aretha Franklin in Respect. Respect.
I don't like biopics, much like you guys. I'm a little bit geeked for this one because people forget how good Jennifer Hudson is. Like she goes in and out of the public consciousness. Of course, did she win for Dreamgirls?
She did. She did.
She had the huge thing for American Idol. I don't know if she did. She must have won for American Idol.
She didn't win.
She came in second or third,
like fifth, something.
Wow, I wonder.
I mean,
which season that
you know
was.
how American Idol is. Like it if you come out and do the same thing well over and over and over again, people start going, well, can you do anything else?
Right.
Even though she's clearly the one person in that. And I watched that season. I can't remember who won. That might have been the Clay Aiken, Ruben Studdard season.
Oh, was it? Wow. Talk about.
But I watched American Idol probably up until the 5th or 6th seasons or something. So it could have been any of those for all I know. But yeah, I think that's what, I mean, it was clear she was the best singer out of everybody who was left at the time. But there's other people who, it's a personality contest as much as it's a singing contest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And I assume it still
let's
is.
Let's not
too.
forget, they could just be choosing who goes home and telling us our votes mattered.
Yeah.
What?
There are disclaimers, by the way, at the ends of a lot of these shows. I don't know if American Idol had one, but where it says producers made decisions in this episode that may have changed the outcome.
Yeah, even Top Chef has that disclaimer.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I like Jennifer Hudson a lot. Mm-hmm. I think she won that Oscar for singing and not for acting. Because I saw Dreamgirls.
Yeah, I'm the same way about that.
But that being said, there's going to be a lot of singing in this movie because Aretha was a singer.
Really?
And that gives me hope. But I hate biopics, man.
I understand that.
This is going to be lame.
Aretha's life, I think, was pretty amazing. So I'm looking forward to it. The reason I looked at you askance when you said that she won it for singing, you're right. You're totally right. But there's so much emotion. It's like opera. There's so much.
There's acting and
there's
singing.
so much acting in that performance that You're Gonna Love Me that I'm just getting chills thinking about her performance.
No, it's incredible.
That you're right. It's not like while she's not singing that she's firing up the screen like Sharon Stone. I'm saying Sharon Stone instead of Meryl Streep. But I think given it's like Cynthia Erivo in Bad Times at the El Royale, she conveys so much through her music.
I can see that.
that I think you can get an amazing performance out of mostly singing. I think that's what Rami Malek probably got, was just imitating a dude really, really well. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Cynthia Erivo seemed like she was equally talented in both when Bad Times and El Royale came out. Like I didn't even know that she was a singer until they started casting her and other things. Like I didn't even know it could be when you're watching Bad Times and El Royale for the first time. Like that could be anybody singing. You know, she's just imitating the words or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know. Jennifer Hudson definitely deserved to get nominated for an Oscar, but I think she won on the basis of that I'm Telling You I'm Not Going song, because that's the showstopper. That's the one that you can't help but get pulled in by during watching Dreamgirls.
Weirdly enough, she did not have that magic when she performed Memories in Cats.
Yeah. It's funny how that
Even
works.
though she had the snot dripping down her nose.
Yeah.
It's her most conspicuous
But yeah.
snot.
We wrote like 10 sins total about that snot.
Movie abused me.
But yes, I'm the same way about biopics. Every time there's something, I don't know what it is that's missing with biopics, but every time it's like, oh, here's where this originated. Oh, here's this where this started. It's just it's really just setting up things where it's like, oh, this was not legendary at the time. Here's how it became legendary. And I don't know, there's something missing out of all of that.
You know the songs, but you don't know the story behind it.
Yeah. So I'm the same way about this, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
J-Hud is good. I wonder how old J-Hud is now.
Man, we play this game every episode.
My guess
36.
That's my guess.
36.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
I hope 10 years from now to be like 2% as good at this game as Chris is. If I can get within 5 years, I usually feel pretty good.
I bet you're within 5 years. Either way, you're within 10 total years of span.
She's going to be 40 next month.
Wow!
Just made it.
Only barely. That's nutsoid.
The next one on the 20th is The Protege. I've seen a lot of trailers for this. This is Maggie Q kicking some ass with Michael Keaton and Samuel L. Jackson.
Am I the only one that's a little bit intrigued by this? I'm
No,
sure I am.
mean, look, it looks like Maggie Q is the main character, which excites me about this movie. And then Michael Keaton is sort of it's hard to tell whether or not she's trying to beat him or trying to join with him in this.
He's like the Ian McShane from John Wick, right?
Yeah. She keeps talking there's a lot of conversations with them where they're not fighting or anything. So I'm wondering if it's like a double agent sort of thing. Samuel L. Jackson seems to be on the good side of this movie. But Maggie Q, man.
Good for her, man. Like, I always thought, I remember from, I actually said when I was guessing the goof last week, A Good Day to Die Hard, what I meant is Live Free or Die Hard, which was a little bit closer to my guess. But Live Free or Die Hard, she was good in that for what she had to do, but that's kind of like the story of her career, right? She's kind of the side character. Of course she's gorgeous. Of course she can kick ass, but it doesn't seem like she's ever gotten a vehicle like this before.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like, she was in those, what was she in? Was she in a Bond movie at one point? Maybe not. Thought she was in a Bond
I feel like
movie.
she was in X vs. Sever 2.
Yeah, she was in
X Harder.
She's in Mission Impossible 3.
Ballisticer.
She's in Mission Impossible 3. But anyway, no, I like her a lot. And it looks like she's going to have a chance to be do what she does best, action star type stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to run out to the theater to watch The Protege, but I kind of want to see it.
They're probably overstating Michael Keaton's role. I hope not, because I love seeing Michael Keaton.
I heard The Protege is a prequel to The Mentor.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
You know they're making that.
Kenny Banya is a mentor?
The mentee relationship. This trailer, by the way, starts off with a real Black Snake Moan vibe. Because it's Samuel L. Jackson playing the guitar, the electric guitar. And he's like, boom, 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 and he's talking to her. And
I wonder if he
everything.
can actually play.
He looked like he was playing in Black Snake Moan, but it was just a simple blues riff type of thing. I love it, man. I want to watch Black
I just
Snake
figure
Moan
everybody who's that famous an actor can play guitar and speak 3 languages. You got a lot of free time in that trailer.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, might as well apply yourself.
You can't all be like Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and trash your shit.
Ian Wood is
8
the best
whiskey
scene in the whole
sours.
movie.
Also on the 20th, we have the Hugh Jackman movie Reminiscence, which looks like Inception.
What do we think about the prospects of this movie?
Oh no, it doesn't. Now it's hard to.
Sorry.
What Jeremy said. On to the next one. No, it's Hugh Jackman who they have some technique where they can go back into your memories, and he's looking for who's the woman in this?
Rebecca Ferguson.
Looking for Rebecca Ferguson in this. So like I guess he's trying to find clues as to where she could be at this point in time.
But at the beginning of the trailer, at least, she physically comes into the thing and he hooks her up, right? But we don't know if that's actually her or I
don't either. I was this trailer looks like it's got intriguing ideas.
It does.
But I don't know how the execution is. And I was going to say before Jeremy farted, he didn't really fart.
It was a mouth fart.
It was a mouth fart. I was going to say that this year it's hard to know whether a release date means something.
Right? Yeah, exactly. August is not necessarily August.
Yeah,
right?
early. I mean, Suicide Squad has that prime last week of the summer date that everybody tries for to get in that last thing before school starts. This is, I feel like, in some ways the same. I think we're back to normal a little bit on some of these release dates. August 20th is not a good release date.
Yeah.
That's where you see a lot of bad stuff usually. And if you're not confident in your movie, August 20th is kind of a death knell, I would say.
Yeah.
But
it's like so weird. I like the idea of like everything flooding and like it's in the near future, I guess. Tendiwe Newton is, I think that's how you pronounce that, is in this as his colleague. But yeah, it looks very Inception-y. And I don't know Lisa Joy, who directed it, but I'm sure she is a lovely person.
Sure she is. Also on the 20th, The Night House, starring Rebecca Hall, comes out. It looks pretty good.
This is a horror movie, right?
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's got some stylish touches to it. I'm trying to remember. It's like her husband disappears, and then like the house changes. There's a scene in there where she comes back to the house and everything's in reverse, and she walks in and she is lying on the couch. So it's real trippy shit like that, where she opens the door, she sees herself on the couch, then it's her perspective from the couch. She looks over and just sees a door open. So it looks pretty cool. But yeah, I want to see that. I kind of want to see that movie. I like Rebecca Hall a lot.
Rebecca Hall and Rebecca Ferguson. Rebecca Ferguson and Rebecca Hall.
They're battling it out.
They are.
What has Rebecca Hall been in recently? I feel like Rebecca Ferguson has been winning the battle of the Rebeccas recently.
Rebecca Hall did an indie movie a few years back with Jason Sudeikis that I have seen twice for some reason.
Of course you have. And you still don't remember the name.
No, I don't.
Well, she was in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh, right.
Oh,
But
wow.
since- But since we all try to purge that movie from our memories, it's hard to remember that she was in it. She's also in Holmes and Watson. Talk about another movie that you want to purge from your memory.
Rebecca, come on.
Yeah, but anyway, on to the next one, which is Candyman.
Candyman. I mean, Candy Cane.
Candy Cane.
So let me ask you a question. Candyman is a real lore that predates the first movie, no?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, that was my understanding when the first Candyman came out. This second one looks amazing because it looks like an actual horror movie with depth and
It does, doesn't
frights. And the first one was just more of a slasher, as I remember it. I only saw it once, though.
It's. I think it's still good.
No, the first one has it's more about lore than it is about slashing.
Okay.
Than the first one is. The first one has some slashing. It's just that it feels steeped more into whether this guy is real or not than anything. Virginia Madsen is going through all this stuff in the first one where she's like, she's found out that her own apartment building was built on top of like another. It was built out of another. Was supposed to be a project basically that wealthy people didn't want in the there's a lot of just really good subtext in
There
that
is,
movie.
yeah.
Maybe I should watch it again.
There's some weird things in it that don't make any sense in the first Candyman.
Are the bees part of that?
Yeah, the bees are kind of part of that. Although they have an explanation for that, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of loose. It's just that there's a lot of things in there where you're like, did Candyman really do the things that they said he did in this? Or why did he do it?
Mm-hmm.
Why did he do it if he did?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what brings that original Candyman down. But it's got all the subtext in it. This one looks like it might actually this one looks like a better movie though.
It looks great. Nia DaCosta is doing it. Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who's quickly becoming up
he's
there
in fucking everything.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Trial of the Chicago 7, Watchmen. He's
in the next Matrix movie. He's in the next Aquaman movie. He's in everything.
And Coleman Domingo, another person that's I think a little bit older, but he's killing it. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Euphoria. He was in something fairly recently too, that he's terrific in. So
yeah,
it does look like a good movie. I'm going to see this.
That's the big draw for me. Coleman Domingo is so fucking great, man.
So good, man. There's a lot of heavy hitters. Of course, Tony Todd is going to be back.
I don't know if I hope the movie has this as part of the movie, but the trailer has this paper cutout, creepy kind of art deal. You know what I'm talking about? Animation thing.
Yeah.
I hope that's part of the movie because that's honestly the scariest part of the whole trailer for me. It really gives me the heebie-jeebies.
By the way, did you know this was produced by Jordan Peele?
But I'm sure that's how it'll be, right? I love Jordan Peele.
It looks like there's another actor who's in this from the original, Vanessa Williams, not the Vanessa L. Williams, but Vanessa Williams. Who was in the original is also in this. So there looks like there might be some connections between this movie and
who played Candyman in the first one?
Tony Todd.
And he's not in this second one?
He's in it, but he's playing someone. Is Daniel Robitaille the name of Candyman before he's Candyman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he is playing Candyman in this.
Interesting.
This was supposed to come out last year, right?
Supposed to come out in October. The reason why we had our Candyman video out in October was because it was supposed to come out then. It looks really good. I'm looking forward to it. August 27th is a bad release date, but it looks good. Now, this is what will make you question whether something's a good release date or not. Of course, Disney could be just sitting here saying, "Fuck you, we've got the products, come on out," because who gives a shit what time of month or time of year it is. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, my son. This of all the Marvel movies in Phase 4 that were coming out, that were announced, this is the one he's most excited for because I think this has probably the best trailer.
Ooh. I'm on an island here. I really am.
Oh, I don't know if you are. I'm not excited about this. Really.
It feels like all of Twitter is excited about this movie, and it seems like everybody loves that trailer. And I am not, and I didn't. What's weird is I was really excited for this movie, and I was really excited for the Eternals. But now that I've seen the first trailer for both of them, I've lost all my excitement.
I've lost my boner for Eternals for sure.
And it's just I don't know what to say. It didn't do it for me. Maybe perhaps the movie will. Famously, I thought that Wall-E, when I first saw the trailer, looked stupid, and that's one of my favorite.
And The Matrix, right?
And The Matrix.
Well, Pixar, by the way, has always had bad trailers. Yeah. Finding Nemo, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
He said it out loud in the middle of a kid's movie. The fuck is this shit?
I did, but there were no kids present.
There
I was a projectionist. I was watching something that had a trailer on it.
I do applaud them for embracing a non-white, non-American hero. Not that this is the first time Marvel has done that, but they need to continue to do that, and that's good. And I can't help but be a little cynical that part of the reason they're doing it is to try and break into markets overseas that they have struggled in. But the ultimate net good is that, a hero of color will be up there on screen for kids of all ages to look up to.
And one thing that I was a little worried about was that, and we'll get to this on the Eternals, but one thing I was a little worried about was, like, how are they connecting it to the existing universe so that people go, oh, I need to watch this because this will be important later when the real big shit starts happening and everything. Doesn't look like it happens in this trailer, but the Eternals has a little reference to the Avengers and Thor and stuff like that. I think not. I don't remember if it was just Thor, but that's the one thing that they're going to have to do to sell this, I think, because remember their movie that anchored everything back when they were starting to do all this was Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Even though Iron Man wasn't high on their list of popular characters, it was still something relatable to a lot of people. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if this one pulls a lot of people, especially on a September 3rd release date. But
this is the first completely new character in the MCU that they've introduced without any tie-in to a previous movie. Because even T'Challa was in Civil War before Black Panther came out. Of course, Black Widow was in all those movies before her movie came out. Captain Marvel, you could say, is the same thing. They got that little teaser in at the end of Infinity War. But besides Captain Marvel, Shang-Chi is completely new. There's no reference to his character in the MCU whatsoever.
Not to date, no. But I do think, from what I've been able to tell, they're going to retcon. Like, I think the Mandarin is the big bad here, and they're going to retcon that Ben Kingsley Mandarin, like, not retcon for real, but he was a hoax anyway. But
they're going to have a real
yeah, it's hard not to do that. The Mandarin, I believe, is the villain in this film. I think it may.
I didn't realize that.
I think it may even be his own father, but I've only seen the trailer a couple of times.
Do you know anything about this character from the comics?
No,
I don't either. I have no reference at all for this character. I know I didn't either, except for what I saw in Civil War for Black Panther either. I'm not comparing those two just because it's kind of minority led, but. Yeah, but obviously Black Panther blew my pants off, so I have high hopes for this. I don't know about my expectations, but I have high hopes.
I just hope he doesn't lose one of those damn 10 rings and spend the whole movie looking for the 10th one.
It'll be like the end of Sonic the Hedgehog.
It'll be just like that. Yep.
Gonna have to go to the mushroom place.
Yep. He could just run to San Francisco,
He could run straight to San Francisco, up that fucking little pyramid building. Movie over. But no, we got to go on a fucking road trip.
Yeah.
With James Marsden and that girl.
We do. Limited on September 10th. It is Paul Schrader's The Card Counter.
This
looks good as shit. And you know what? As soon as they were doing poker and all sorts of other stuff in this movie, I was like, I'm in this movie already.
Yep.
This trailer looks fucking rad, man.
This is right. This is the Paul Schrader wheelhouse. A movie like this. Oscar Isaac plays the guy in this, and Tiffany Haddish looks like they've given her a really ramped up role in this. She's not just comic relief or whatever. She's actually like looks like a co-equal lead with Oscar Isaac.
And a love interest, I guess.
Yeah, and a love interest.
Be getting it on.
Yeah, they are getting it on. She says something about him being a poker player, but it looks like he does a lot of other kind of gambling in this. It'll be interesting to see how much poker, how much like actual gambling things we see in this. That's what's going to get my fucking interest up. I'm sure there'll be his moments where he's he's getting in trouble and people beat his ass over something. It's like Rounders or whatever. But I'm really looking forward to this. Martin Scorsese is a producer on this, which is a fun sort of recombination from the early days when Taxi Driver and Raging Bull. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this a lot.
Willem Dafoe's in there. Is that Ansel Elgort that's in there too?
I don't know.
Did you watch this trailer?
I saw the trailer. I remember thinking it had a lot of famous people in it, but I don't remember Ansel. That Ansel, he's so hot right now.
It's Ty Sheridan.
Ty Sheridan.
Oh, well, I would not have. I don't know. I don't know if I would have confused those two guys.
Did you guys see that thing where Evander Kane's wife blasted him and said that he gambled on hockey games? He threw hockey games to win money in gambling.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
No, that's worse than what Pete Rose apparently did. Mm-hmm. And he's out of baseball forever.
Well, Pete Rose bet on his own team.
But he was never accused of throwing games to win.
No, but there were moments that were very suspicious.
Okay.
In the Pete Rose thing. There's a lot of things about the Pete Rose thing we'll never, ever know. But yeah, I mean... Yeah, that's bad. If I'm sure they're doing a huge investigation on this right now.
It's crazy because she just put it on Instagram, and like an hour later, the NHL had a press release about we're aware and we've started an investigation, yada yada yada. And one of his teammates came out and said, "I've gambled with him all the time, but I've never seen him bet on hockey." And I'm like, "You are not doing him any favors, buddy."
Nope. Sure aren't.
I mean,
oh, you're still stuck on that, are you?
Are they not? Do they not look at all like?
It depends on how old that Ty Sheridan picture is.
That's true.
I think he's in his 40s now or older.
Is he really?
He's not that old.
Really?
Ty Sheridan? No.
This is the guy who wrote Hell or High Water?
No, that's. It's
No.
no, it's not. It's Sheridan, but it's not Ty Sheridan.
Okay.
Ty Sheridan is the guy who's in Ready Player One.
He's 24.
Thank you. I could see you confusing him and Ansel Elgort. Now tell me the other Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan.
I still can't see how he could confuse those two, but it is what it is. There are a lot of people that I mean, it's like Ty Sheridan, and then there's like Barry Keoghan, and then there's like there's like all these people that have these.
Him and Barry Keoghan and Ezra Miller. I get mixed up too.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you were looking at the pictures that I was looking at, he looks a lot like Ansel Elgort, just in what I'm comparing.
Okay.
Normally, I'm an idiot.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. I can see it. September 17th, also apparently limited, but you gotta think that some of these are going to be wide. I mean, I thought so The Eyes of Tammy Faye, September 17th. Jessica Chastain looks completely unrecognizable in this, although about halfway through the trailer, I was like, this is fucking Jessica Chastain. This has got to be Jessica Chastain. And you guys have reacted. What was the reaction all about? Is it about Tammy Faye or this movie?
No, the movie might be fine. I don't feel like she's the kind of person we should have made a movie about, even if it makes her a villain.
Right.
They're both despicable human beings in my book, and hopefully the movie will make it that they're despicable human beings, but then I'm going to wonder if I'm just going to watch 2 hours of despicability. Like, who's the hero of this? Is she going to be painted as the hero?
Trailer kind of points in that direction. It seems like a I, Tanya-ish.
Yeah, which was that thing
depiction
that you sent the other day with the was it the Nick Kroll and John Mulaney where they're talking about I, Tanya. Just think about Nancy Kerrigan, like, who's been the victim all this time and then is being told that she's the bad guy by the time this movie comes out.
I mean, it really does look like she's the one that was looking for goodness, and Jim just wanted the money, but Jim was a pawn for Jerry Falwell. And what it could be, and who knows, I'm speculating, what it could be is projecting from the perspective of those characters. They're trying to find the humanity in those characters.
Trying to win an Oscar.
They're trying to win an Oscar. Jim Baker probably cried for real as he was being hauled off by the FBI.
Good.
Because he thought, not because I did something wrong, but something is being done wrong to me. And is that Andrew Garfield that's playing him?
Playing Jim Baker, yes.
And
I like Andrew Garfield.
I mean, this is a biopic. This is a biopic about a bad person. Bad people. Like, I would watch an Aretha Franklin biopic because she's fucking awesome. I don't think I want to watch fucking Tammy Faye Baker.
This one and I don't know if it's on the list, but the House of Gucci.
Yeah.
Both have the same kind of feel to me. Like, we're going to win an Oscar. We're going to win it for acting because of makeup and costumes, and the script will be an afterthought. That's my fear. Because that one's Ridley Scott. Sorry, getting off track. This does not look interesting to me. Tammy Faye Baker can go blow goats. Maybe you cut that.
The men who blew at goats.
Now that's a sequel.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I just
First
grew
I
up
stare
with
at you.
these people. I grew up with people like this on the television,
I did too, man.
and I now know how much damage they caused. I'm not here for it. Be an
Every
awesome
bit
movie.
as bad as Jordan Belfort, but even worse because they appealed to a spiritual side.
Yep.
Yep.
And it was a much greater swath of people. It is horrendous.
Looking forward to seeing Andrew Garfield as Jim Baker and Vincent D'Onofrio as Jerry Falwell.
I bet they're great. I bet Jessica Chastain is fantastic. in
Yeah,
this.
no,
it
she's
may be a great
always
movie.
is. She always is. She's amazing every time. But yeah, I don't think I will see this in theaters, but I will eventually watch it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the performances in this. But yeah, hopefully nobody comes out a hero. Also showing up as limited on September 17th is Cry Macho, the new Clint Eastwood movie.
Oh.
There were no trailers for this, so it makes it sound like either. I mean, it's not unprecedented. They'll come out with trailers just before it comes out, and they'll just flood the market with them for September 17th. I don't really even know what this movie's about, even.
I bet it's about an old person.
He is. Eastwood stars, from what I've read, as a retired rodeoian.
Yes.
Is he directing or just starring?
He's directing.
Rodeo.
Honestly, what is he now, 90?
Yep.
Yeah, he just turned 90, yeah.
Well, I'm equal parts impressed that he can still direct a movie and depressed that he is still directing movies.
Hey, man, he's the anti-Gene Hackman.
He's in fact 91.
Aaron Dicer ruins everything.
He does. He does. There is that show called Adam Ruins Everything, which is kind of like that. But Aaron does it in real life.
Yeah, I mean, hey, what is Eastwood's last really good movie? I liked Gran Torino.
Gran Torino, and even that doesn't hold up super great.
American Sniper had its moments.
Yeah, I think American Sniper is solidly good.
I don't like.
We did like the Mule.
No.
I didn't like the Mule. I don't like the Richard Jewell.
Oh yeah.
Did you like Richard Jewell?
I liked it okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
I liked it okay. I can't remember what bugged me about that movie. I think it was the whole. I don't know. It was the FBI getting things wrong, and like it was coming that message at the time of when that movie came out. It was, even though that movie is set in 1996.
Yeah.
That message about the FBI getting things wrong and the reporter sleeping with people and all this was a
Bad
little.
timing.
It was very bad timing. But yeah, I think Gran Torino might be his best since, I don't know. I guess we soured on $1 Million Baby, or never was.
I think it's a very good movie. I don't watch it very often.
I only saw it once. It's too depressing to go back to.
Yeah.
And then he did Flags of Our Fathers and
Iwo Jima.
And Iwo Jima.
Those are
really
both
good.
really good. Yeah.
Iwo Jima is the best one.
Yeah.
That twofer he did there. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I think he's
You
hit
can
or
get the
miss.
Mule, or you can get Gran Torino.
Also, 17th. There's no wide releases on the 17th as of yet, and I'm sure that will change. But Blue Bayou looks like a devastating ice documentary, or not documentary, but sort of it's an ice drama, basically, is what it is. A guy who's been living here for 30 years is suddenly taken from his family.
Wow, I just realized you meant ICE, the immigration force, and not a glacier.
Yeah, it's not like the ice storm.
When you said ICE documentary at first, I was like, oh, they're going to show us like Greenland melting, but no, it's ICE, the
Yeah.
government agency.
Yeah.
Not the vanilla kind.
Alicia Vikander is playing his wife, I guess, in this, and they have a kid, and it's that kind of a drama where he's been taken, and then he has to go through the system, which is notoriously long and difficult to get through.
And apparently he has a past. He has a criminal past or something, and that indicts him. And God, I remember watching. It was a movie Aretha warned a long time ago. It's got Salma Hayek and John Lithgow.
I know you're talking about
in it, and it's the first time. It's not the first time, but it's one of the first times I remember hearing, "Where are you from?" And at the time, Salma Hayek was like from Southern California or something like that, and then he was like, "Where are you really from?" Because she's obviously, or she didn't look American, quote unquote American. And that's what happens in this trailer. Is this guy is like, "Where are you from?" And he's got this thick ass Cajun accent, like Homeboy in True Blood Cajun accent, like, and he's like, I'm from. I can't do a Cajun accent. And they're like, "No, where are you really from?" And he's like, "Well, I was born in Korea, but I've been here all my life." And it's those kinds of things that I used to hear growing up in the South all the time.
No.
Not to myself.
What was your name before you changed it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is not something I'm going to seek out in the theater, but it's probably something I'll watch. Now, Alicia Vikander, that accent so far, that's not working for me. But
Oh, yeah?
maybe it.
Is she doing?
She's doing a Louisiana accent.
Yeah.
All right.
I looked up. We've on this podcast we have discussed how this name is pronounced many times. I finally found her variety thing where they ask Google questions and all that, and they always tear off the thing. And it's Alicia Vikander.
Alicia Vikander.
Vikander.
Gotcha.
Vikander.
That's how I think I remember her saying it. If it's not right, it's close. I know the Alicia part is right.
Is she Dutch?
She is Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania Dutch. There are two types of people in the world: those that are intolerant to other people's cultures, and the Dutch. Or two people I hate in the world.
She is
Something like that. Austrian?
Swedish. The movie you were thinking about with Salma Hayek is Beatrice at Dinner.
Yeah, I like that movie quite a bit, actually.
Then we get to September 24th, the wide release. The first alphabetical wide release I see on Box Office Mojo is Dear Evan Hansen.
Boy, oh boy.
Shit is fire, apparently. Took Broadway by storm.
I gotta skip it, man.
What?
It's all about suicide.
Yep.
Oh, that letter ended up in... No, the suicide letter from the guy ended up in Evan Hansen's
I
hand
saw
or
the
something
trailer,
like
and it looks like a couple characters in the movie in present time are contemplating suicide. I just immediately said, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
Looks great. That guy played the role on Broadway. Ben Platt.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect guy.
He's great in Pitch Perfect. And yeah, it's a hot fire rocket show.
I spit hot fire.
People love it, and I think the movie's going to do big.
Yeah. From what I could tell from the trailer, he quote unquote befriends this guy named Connor who signs his cast early on in the movie. And it's not a real friend. It's not like a big friendship. It's just he comes up and says, "Hey, I know who you are." Or he at least wants to say he has a friend because he's contemplating this. And so when this happens, his parents think that Evan was one of his best friends, and that he becomes important in this thing where he has to do a speech and a memoriam on him. And my guess is everybody's expecting him to come out with some, like glowing type of thing about his life and everything. But I imagine by the end of it, he's just going to be like, I don't know this guy. He signed my cast once. Something happened where, or I guess there could be some suspense to where he just takes the high road or whatever and says, he was a great guy. He was awesome. And because it looks like he's performing for his parents all the way through this, performing for that guy's parents. Amy Adams is his mom. I think Julianne Moore is playing Evan Hansen's mom, and Amy Adams is playing Connor's mom. But yeah, we have stuff. I have Amanda Stenberg is in this too. Caitlin Deaver is in this. So yeah. What do you think? Does it look good to you, or I know Jeremy wants to skip this.
It looks good though.
Yeah,
I think so. And I am a bit of a sucker for these movie adaptations of Broadway hits. I'm one of the only people that loves Chris Columbus's Rent.
Oh, I like it.
And I'm usually good with this. I loved In the Heights. Did you ever see In the Heights?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
So yeah, I these kinds of things are usually up my alley. I totally understand skipping it though.
Yeah. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
You know what's easier than going to a place, Jeremy?
Not going to a place?
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although you do go to a place, it's an online place. I got to tell you, man, I scheduled a physical doctor, like a primary care physician appointment. And I had to go through everybody. I had to go through the receptionist. I had to go through the insurance person. I had to go through the nurse. I had to go through the blood draw person. And then I finally saw the doctor. Lovely experience. Everybody on that staff is fantastic. But it gets a little old when you have to deal with several people. With BetterHelp, when it comes to counseling, mental health services, you deal directly with this service. You go, when you sign up, go to betterhelp.com/SinCast. When you sign up, you answer a few questions about how you're feeling. Be honest about those questions. That's not easy. You know, you'd think, hey, everything is fine. I have no anger issues or, anything wrong with my mental health. It forces you to get real a little bit. Then they match you to a counselor within 24 hours. They contact you, and you set up your own counseling room with the stuff. You can schedule your next appointment. You can correspond with your counselor. You can send attachments back and forth. It's fantastic. BetterHelp is made for people like me who just want to get the help that they need in the most efficient way possible. It's fantastic.
We were talking at lunch just a little bit ago about What About Bob, which is a movie that's full of bad mental health advice.
Very much.
But the one thing that sticks out to me that is good, at least if you apply it correctly, is the whole baby steps advice. Because therapy can feel like a mountain that you have to climb. It can feel like Everest. But of course, the only way to get to the top of Everest is one step at a time.
That's right.
And you will have moments like Barrett was recently talking about having a breakthrough session.
So awesome.
And you'll have baby step breakthroughs and big breakthroughs, but this is a process. You can't expect that therapy after one or two sessions you're going to be like, oh, I feel all better. Everything is gone.
If only.
It's a progressive thing. It's a process, and I feel like if you know that going in, you're better prepared to have the patience. But it's also like golf. I'm all over the place today. Apologies to BetterHelp.
Analogy on analogy on analogy.
The reason golf is fun is you go out there and you suck. You're terrible. You can't hit it. It goes along the ground. You chunk the ground. It goes into the trees. And then one time in your round of golf, you make solid contact and the ball goes up into the air. And that is addictive.
Yeah, it is.
And that will bring you back to the golf course again for another round of 99 crappy shots and one good one. But it's that kind of high from the progress that keeps you coming back for more therapy. And if you approach it as a process and you take your baby steps, you will feel better.
Yeah. You get matched to a counselor that is right for you. If you're not vibing with that counselor after a few sessions, give it time to work. But if not, you can change counselors with no judgment, no cost or anything like that. Go to BetterHelp. People, listen to me. Go to betterhelp.com, HELP.com/SinCast. You know how to spell SinCast. You're listening to the show right now. Go there right now. If you have any issues or even a question about, like, maybe I could use a little tune-up for my brain, do it now. Don't wait. Now's the time. It's so easy. Sign up from your computer, tablet, phone, whatever. BetterHelp.com/SinCast, and thank us later.
The big release, though, the really big release that comes out on September 24th is Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
I just saw the new trailer for this yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm in.
God.
That scene where what sold me. Okay, the reason I like the first movie is the conversations between Venom and Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And this trailer shows me that that is going to continue, where at the very end he needs to fight Carnage. Venom won't come out.
That's
and
a
he's
red
like, I'll let you eat whoever you want, I promise. And then Venom's like, all right. He comes out. I think the first one is a hot, steaming mess, and I love it. So I'm in.
It's weird how many people have that opinion of the first movie.
Yeah.
Like, that movie is a bunch of garbage, but I loved it.
It went for it, man. I really appreciate. I guess Sony just said, fuck it. You know, we're getting profits off of Spider-Man, splitting it with whatever. Let's just let whoever have control of it. And I'm sure there was the interference when it came to the villain, poor Riz Ahmed, just kind of doing a stock thing. But the Tom Hardy stuff is just fucking gold, and the Venom stuff is just fucking gold.
Tom Hardy doesn't even seem to be awake until he and Venom merge. Like, he feels like he's sleepwalking through most of that.
You think?
I felt like that. And then once he got the Venom and climbed in the lobster tank, from there on, I felt like he was, like, all in. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I liked his, like, dogged reporter, like, really annoying, in-your-face type of thing. Yeah. I see what you mean, though. The whole thing went up a notch as soon as... Because Venom became a character. He's not the black ooze that encircled Topher Grace.
Exactly.
in fucking in Spider-Man 3. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a character, and... The sound effect that they made on it, the characters, the CGI is really good.
Yeah. I want to kill the spider. You want to kill the spider.
Makes it look even worse in retrospect.
It does. You know, looking at September, you know, studios are not looking at. I mean, I was speculating in August that maybe they were releasing movies still on the old model, but when you have the new big Disney Marvel movie, the Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings coming out, and you have Venom coming out at the end of September, they've lost all their fucks about when they're coming out with these movies. So may not have anything to do with how well positioned, you know, they just look at an opportunity here where they have the month to themselves, and they're going to come out with this and avoid that October, November, December where there's a ton of other stuff coming out.
Well, the first Venom came out like early October.
Yeah.
Which is more in the sweet spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I think it did surprisingly well for what the expectations
were. It killed. I think here they've got it close enough to October where they feel like it's kind of like a preview going into that month.
Yeah.
But we're going into October, and I'm going to talk about two animated movies that there's no fucking chance are coming out on the same day. The Addams Family 2 and Hotel Transylvania Transformania.
What is up with that? I wonder why that's even on the schedule like that.
I don't know. There's no fucking way these two movies come out on the same day. That's called cannibalizing your audience, folks.
That's right.
something with this Transylvania, right? Sandler's not in it this time?
Sandler's not in it. There's a dude doing... It's Brian Hull is doing Adam Sandler doing Dracula.
Interesting.
That's a bummer.
Everybody else came back. Selena Gomez, Andy Samberg, David Spade, because let's be real.
Doing?
Yeah. But yeah, Adam Sandler. There's a dude doing Adam Sandler doing Dracula.
That's crazy.
Adam Sandler just said, I've got enough money. I can't do
This is
2
the
hours of
fourth
voice
one
work.
Of these?
Fourth.
God damn. I had no idea they were that popular.
The Addams Family 2 looks like Addams Family goes on the road, a road trip, whatever. The Addams Family, Beverly Hillbillies.
Yo, I mentioned it on there. This is going to be the fall of Oscar Isaac, though. It's not because of how he sequenced the filming, I don't think. It's because of all the delays and everything. But between the card counter, we'll talk about Dune in a bit, this, I think there may be one more. And there's a Chalamet fall. Like, there's a lot of
and that's
happening.
you know and I think that's happening because you have movies that were held back that got moved to here, and then you had new movies getting made for this year but not that it's unprecedented for an actor to come out with, you know, Tommy Lee Jones had that 1994 year where he had, of course, that also had to do with movies getting pushed back too. That year he did Natural Born Killers, Cobb, Blue Sky, or is it Blue Sky?
Mm-hmm.
He did Blown Away, and he did what was the other one he did? Oh, The Client, all in that 1 year. The one that this is going to be really interesting on October 1st. It'll be interesting to see what a pull The Sopranos has on movie-going audience. The Many Saints of Newark is coming out. That trailer is pretty badass.
The trailer is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say.
It looks like the Moltisanti family is it has a lot to do with this. We know Christopher Moltisanti is in the series, and I'm guessing that's his family that's sort of absorbed into this.
It would be a huge coincidence if there were two big Moltisanti crime families in
New
Vegas.
Jersey.
True, very true. But we didn't see older versions of these characters in The Sopranos, though.
I will say, casting his mom.
Vera Farmiga.
Perfect.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga is awesome.
The only problem is that she made that Psycho show already, so she's already played like a really terrible, creepy mother. But if you're going to do a young version of that evil woman from the show, Vera Farmiga, she's going to nail that role.
That scene where they're in the principal's office and she's like, says here the tests show that Anthony Soprano's a leader, and goes, she goes,
which is pitch perfect for the character. I guess Uncle Junior figures very well in this, and I guess Ray Liotta plays his father, right?
I don't know. When I was looking at character names, I was surprised at the lack of Sopranos that were in this, but
I assume your hesitancy comes from Michael or Gandolfini, the kid version of Gandolfini.
I don't want to say something bad.
Well, we haven't seen it. I think he looks amazing. Now, obviously he doesn't look exactly like him, but he looks a lot like him because he's his actual son. But I think the stoop gait that Tony always had, when the guy calls him a jerk off and he's like, "What'd you say?" Like, you can see his
James
dad coming out
Gandolfini in that.
him. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else. I don't know if he's been in anything.
I don't think
he's been in something pretty big, actually. I was looking this up. I don't know if you guys had seen it, but
I guess not.
let's see. He was in The Deuce. You guys had never seen The Deuce.
Is that a show?
Yeah, it was the guy who did The Wire.
The porn industry.
Yeah, porn industry.
I have never seen that.
And he was in Ocean's 8 as a busboy. He's only had 9 credits. Let's see. And he was in that movie Cherry, if anybody saw it.
I will say, I don't think David Chase is dumb enough to build this movie around an actor that can't pull it off.
Yep.
So I don't think he would cast this kid just for the name or just for the look.
The only other other recognizable name. Well, there's a lot of recognizable names, but in that Soprano family, Junior Soprano's Corey Stoll plays him.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's in the trailer. And you have people who are like Jackie Aprile is played by somebody named Chase Vashnin. I don't know. But it looks good. The trailer looks good. I'm looking forward to it.
This has made me want to
go back to The Sopranos.
Go back and watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
That's an investment.
Yeah, it is.
I don't have a whole lot of time, but man, that show was one of the most engrossing shows I have ever seen, including Breaking Bad, including I'm sure The Wire, even though I haven't ever seen it, including Lost. Like, that show was absolutely injected into my veins.
On October 8th, No Time to Die, maybe, finally. I think this is the one movie that has been pushed back the most due to the pandemic.
It was the first one to delay, if I remember right. It was the first one to say we're pushing it back.
Believe it was April 2020.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out, and then they were like, well, now we're coming out with it in November, and now we're coming out with it in April 2021. Now we're coming out with it October 8th. I believe they are finally coming out.
I will say some company just pulled Clifford the Big Red Dog from all theaters. Whichever studio has that movie. has pulled it, and is presumably for Delta variant COVID reasons. So we could be doing a fall preview next year and still be talking about some of these movies.
You are absolutely right. And I probably should have even prefaced this by saying there's a possibility of that happening if people don't get their fucking shit together.
That No Time to Die trailer is my shit.
It's great. I've seen it so many times.
That
but
moment
it is
in
great.
the woods when the car comes flying over him and the camera turns and there's no cuts at all. I'm just like, if you hadn't just said it, inject it into my veins, like now. Like, I will say, to me, that Bond trailers have always intrigued me and interested me, and then I get into the movie, and it's like an hour and a half of boring romance, morning bullshit, and then occasionally some fights. Hopefully, this will be more Casino Royale and Skyfall than the other ones.
One thing, they really went all in on this continuous story kind of thing, didn't they? Because it looks like a lot of the characters are returning from previous chapters. You got Lea Seydoux is showing back up. You have Christoph Waltz shows back up as Blofeld. I'm sure Ava
What?
Green.
He's not Blofeld.
You fucked up my joke. It's like I'm sure Ava Green is going to show back up as his girlfriend. His dead girlfriend.
Vespa, what was her name?
Vespa Lind.
So this is Cary Joji Fukunaga.
Yeah.
Which is another reason to get excited about this.
Yeah, because he shot the first season of True
Detective. And he did that Maniac series on Netflix. Did you ever
Honestly,
see that?
what was missing, was him for me in the rest of the True Detectives. Like, the first one had such a distinct look, and the other two seasons didn't have that. Anyway, I'm geeked about this one.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm also ready to put this final nail in the Daniel Craig Bond coffin and see who's going to get it next.
Yeah, it's obvious after that many times. You just get tired of playing this shit over and over. You have to get in a headspace. Even James Bond, you have to get in a headspace for it. And you do it 6 movies.
Has it been 6?
Yeah.
Wow.
You look at like all the other Bonds. It's amazing. Roger Moore lasted as long as he did, and Sean Connery lasted as long as he did. I mean. Connery wanted to stop doing it after it was before Diamonds Are Forever, and then Lazenby got in there for that one movie, and then all right, I'll come back for Diamonds Are Forever. A lot of these guys just don't believe it's 6 movies. Now I'm questioning myself.
I think it's 5.
Might be 5 movies.
Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall.
Blofeld
was Spectre the 4th one?
Yeah, Spectre.
Okay, so this will be the 5th.
The 5th one. It's not the 6th one. But yeah, even so, you do 3 or 4 of them. You're like, all right. I don't know how fucking Marvel guys did it. The fucking Chris Evans and
that's why they were so fucking.
Even Robert Downey Jr. I think he had to do it the most of anybody in terms of I think he's in more MCU movies than anyone.
I think that's definitely right because he's even in the Spider-Man and all that. On to October 15th. God, October is going to feel like the summer, man.
Yeah, it is.
Halloween Kills, the sequel to the rebooted again Halloween. You see the beginning in this trailer. They're on the back of the truck and they see the fire trucks coming to save Michael Myers. They don't know they're saving Michael Myers, but they are. It's so annoying. I don't know, watching them in the back of that car going, don't put out the fire. Like, yeah, that's gonna help.
Let it burn. I mean, at some point, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Right? He can never die. So everything you do won't matter. This movie doesn't matter because you're going to make another one after this.
Especially in the case of that last Halloween where they just she sets up all of this stuff just in case Michael Myers ever shows up to her house and then doesn't have an end game to that. And they're like, oh, let's just burn him instead of like a whole bunch of other things that you could do while he's trapped down in this basement. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. It was so infuriating at the end of that movie watching that's how the end game was. And just saying, basically you're saying you want him to come back. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So looking at this movie on its own and forgetting about that first movie, I don't think this looks good. And it's fun. I like the people involved.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny McBride and what's it?
David Gordon.
David Gordon Green. Yeah, I was about to say Jason Gordon something. Catton Jones. But there were. It just looks. It just. I don't know. It just looks. It's. We're back to regular Halloween sequel shit at this point.
Yeah.
Somebody shows up. Now, I will say the one thing that does look different about this, it does look like Jamie Lee Curtis is getting a whole town to chase after him instead of everybody just sitting in the house waiting to be a victim.
Right.
Whereas in all the other Halloweens, anytime anybody would go and say, there's this psycho killer who likes to kill people on Halloween, people don't think much of that. Now it looks like everybody believes the shit, and they're going after him, and maybe Michael Myers is the guy they're going
And then Michael Myers is going to like break Christmas ornaments under the window.
Yep.
So when they come in the window, they step on the broken ornaments and hurt their feet.
Shit, yeah. That's what that's.
I'll tell you what this trailer does. It shows so many kills.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It shows him killing
Called Halloween,
everybody.
Called Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
You obviously see him killing all, if not most, of the firemen. You see him killing the old dude, and it's like, I know all these people are going to die.
They're going to be twice as much as that.
But do you have to show all that stuff? I don't know. Maybe.
Well, for the horror audience, kills are a big important part.
Yeah.
I find kills usually boring, but
Hey.
Except in Freaky. Those are
right.
awesome.
That's right. Also coming out on the 15th, a movie that you guys were huddling around watching a trailer when I was walking in. The Last Duel comes out.
The Last Duel.
Matt Damon looks pretty ratty in this. Ben Affleck looks pretty ratty. Adam Driver looks pretty ratty. It looks like are they fighting a whole war over this woman?
No, they're dueling. They're having a whole duel over this woman. This is a true story.
Okay, so the battle itself is to get to the duel?
I don't know what the battle is.
Okay.
Consider the battle background noise.
Okay.
The story as I know it is that one lord lady get fucked by another lord or
Raped.
accused.
Yes, accused of rape.
Sorry, I did not mean to
No.
make that light. And to protect his good name, there becomes this duel, yada yada. I think Affleck is just like a bystander.
Yeah,
And
he's a friend of, I think, Adam Driver's character.
And it's Damon and Driver that are going to duel for 2+ hours.
And this is ostensibly, right? And this is ostensibly the last trial by combat, last duel in the history of medieval France or something, whatever it is.
I think it's medieval France. Let's just go with that.
We come from France.
Oui.
It's Ridley Scott. It has the chance of being great, has the chance of being
Yep. Well, you
what
know
we
what?
do know is that Ben Affleck is blonde.
And he looks terrible. But between this movie and House of Gucci, one of them will likely be good. So we've got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. On to October 22nd, where we have okay, so I'll save the big one for the last one, but Jackass Forever. Now, this is the 4th Jackass. Whenever I see a trailer for Jackass, I'm like, oh, come on. But it is one of the best audience movies you can ever watch.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't watch the show at all, but when the first Jackass movie came out, and I was at Hollywood 27 at the time, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And I watched the movie. I think it was with me and somebody else watched it. Had a good time. Then the opening night happened, and it was sold out, and all these people just having a grand old time, man. It's that type of movie. Now, has Jackass translated to 2021? Are people going to want to watch Jackass in 2021?
Oh, there's a good chance that they will.
I don't know if the audience specifically for Jackass will translate into box office, but I think there's still an audience for it. That's why Ridiculous plays 24 hours a day. Ridiculousness plays 24 hours a day on MTV.
I think people are ready to see someone get hit in the balls.
Yeah, maybe.
You want to know how much? I know you guys think I'm an idiot anyway, but like how much of an idiot I actually am. In that next fucking level Twitter account that you know of,
Yeah.
right? They retweet a bunch of other similar accounts, and there's one called Nutshots.
Nice.
And I scrolled through that motherfucker for about 30 minutes.
Oh, don't be. I don't think you're. First of all, I don't think you're stupid, and it's especially not for that. My wife and I used to, like, every Friday night watch like an hour's worth of fail videos on YouTube. People like.
But I
cracking bones
became Dax Shepard in Idiocracy watching Ow My Balls. I found myself and I was like, I'm watching Ow My Balls.
Well, you know what? Well, the fact of the matter is, we're already here. There's that show Wipeout on TBS that John Cena hosts.
That one too.
Okay, but I'm saying we're already at Ow My Balls or Who Stole My Pants or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
What was the Lego
Dear,
movie?
where
one?
are my pants?
Where are my pants?
Where are my pants?
We're already there.
But yes, I think they're all old now. Knoxville is 50, I think. But I've always had a soft spot. I watched every episode of the show. Some of the stuff is too gross even for me. But the stunts are fun. It's fun to watch somebody fall down and get hurt.
Well, and they end on an intriguing one where they put honey and salmon on this guy, and then they put a bear in this room with him.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know the guy who jumped in the water with the sharks got bit by a shark.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I read about that, and he regretted doing that stunt. I'm sure that's in the movie.
Well,
If you got bitten by a shark and it's not in the movie, that's malpractice.
yeah.
Well,
If you got footage of motherfucker getting bit by a shark, you better make it worth it.
I think that guy, the jackass, who's the what you said his name a second ago, Johnny Danger, Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville.
Knoxville. He's got the best contract writer, like the best waiver writer in the world.
Yeah.
I bet, to get his buddies to do all this stupid shit and not sue him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they started off all being on the same page, essentially. And now you've got Bam Margera, who was part of the troupe that's begging to be back in the movie.
He's angry.
Because this is the only place where they can make money. Knoxville is the only one that made other movies. He made Skip Trace with Cutthroat
One
Island,
other one
Reddy
that's
Harlan.
just as famous, the one that got off drugs. Steve-O. I think he is just as famous as Knoxville, at least on Reddit. He's a celebrity.
Maybe so. I'm thinking like Hollywood. Johnny Knoxville has been in
he was in
a
that
decent amount of Dukes of Hazzard and The Ringer, unfortunately. But fucking Men in Black. I mean, so he's had a decent career both as a stuntman and as an actor, I think.
Also on the 22nd, Ron's Gone Wrong, which looks like Big Hero 6.
A lot like it, right?
Yeah, and even Zach Galifianakis sounds kind of like Scott Adsit.
Yeah.
But it's about a hot new toy robot AI thing that can change into anything it wants or whatever. And this kid's, I guess, the hero of this movie, watches the commercial and he's excited about it. His father brings him home one, and it's kind of a malfunctioning one. And so what adventures will they get into? But it looks like Big Hero 6 mashed with like Short Circuit or something like that. Then the big one on October 22nd is Dune, Denis Villeneuve's version of Dune, another movie that has been pushed back a lot due to the pandemic, because this was supposed to come out in like maybe last year at the same time or something. And then it was summer, and then they moved it again. This looks incredible.
Yeah, I think I don't have any skin in the game with the story. I never read the book, saw the movie maybe once and a half times, but this looks amazing. And it wasn't Villeneuve one of the nays when it came to WB releasing shit on HBO Max. He was like, no, I think people should see this in the theater.
Yeah, I think so. And a movie like this that looks like this, you want to see this in the theater.
I would much rather see it. I mean, I too like the convenience of watching it at home, but I think I'll see this in the theater.
This is one that I'll IMAX. I'll IMAX this bitch up.
I not only do I not have skin in the game, I could give a rat's ass about Dune until I saw this trailer.
It's a good trailer.
And the trailer's amazing. The trailer is already an easier to follow story than the first movie, in my opinion.
That's true.
And those visuals, baby. Like, here's what happened with Blade Runner 2047, whatever the fuck it is.
That's the prequel to Blade Runner 2049.
The visuals on repeat viewings wrapped me more into the story until the story began to ring more true to me. I think that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to watch Dune, be fairly confused by the story, wowed by the visuals. That will make me go back to it several times, and eventually I'll understand the story and love it.
Look, he's got a long history. Even Arrival. Now, I mean, I think Arrival, despite how cerebral it was, it's probably easier to understand than something like Blade Runner 2049. But on repeat viewings, because you start to get into the story and the background more, you start to appreciate it more. I think that's his thing. Enemy was the same thing. I haven't seen Prisoners, but yeah, I think that's kind of his thing. I'm geeked for this one.
The cast is incredible.
I've got, Timothy Chalamet, you have Zendaya, you have Rebecca Ferguson, you have Jason Momoa. It looks awesome.
Oscar Isaac,
Yeah.
Brolin.
I will say that watching the David Lynch Dune recently made me want to read the book because it felt incomplete. And it was like, there's a lot of stuff in this that feels, now I've read the book, but it was like in 1995. I couldn't tell you anything about it anymore. But I kind of want to read it again because there's really cool things in that they bring up in this. It's just that movie. God damn it. Like there's so many things in there. Am I the one? Like just so many like whisper narrations that are in that movie. And then you see this better version coming out. It's like, man, do I have time to like just rip through a book real quick and then maybe get through the other 8 books that he's written? Dune looks awesome. Looking forward to it. The other limited release on the 22nd is The French Dispatch, which looks like Wes Anderson making a Wes Anderson movie.
He is completely up his own ass right now.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I'm glad you said that because I feel like you two already hold his work a little higher in esteem than I do. But every Wes Anderson movie is the same for me in that I have to wait for people to see it and tell me if it's good, and then I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
And then I'll think, okay, but I still don't understand what everybody else saw. There are like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I feel like he's the Michael Stipe of filmmakers. Sometimes shit is weird
Great
just for the
analogy.
sake of being weird.
It's a great analogy.
No, this is when it was, Wes Anderson making a Wes Anderson movie. I mean, it felt like a parody watching this trailer.
It felt like that horror movie parody that SNL did a while ago. This is Chalamet on Chalamet action.
It
right?
is. It is.
This weekend.
It is. It's got exactly. That's how that would work.
Let's bump them together a little bit.
That's right. Hopefully they're not circumcised and they can do the double docking.
I forgot that little bit of the D2D.
I got a visual.
So yeah, like there are elements of this that look awesome.
Yeah.
There are other elements of this that are like everybody's looking at the screen, everybody's doing this like weird quirky shit. I don't know. Well, I'll end up watching it because I like Wes Anderson, but this is the first time I've seen. Maybe I don't know. I think the same thing could be said for the Grand whatever the fuck hotel.
Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel was like that. Trailer was like that kind of.
It was, but that movie surprised me with how much I enjoyed it. So I'm hoping it's the same with this. But man, it does look like he's indulging.
October 29th, what looks like the coolest movie of this preview, The Last Night in Soho.
I can't wait.
Edgar Wright.
Doing horror,
which, and it looks like a throwback kind of horror too, but it's got that Thomasin McKenzie, who's in everything these days, playing someone who sees herself as Anya Taylor-Joy in every mirror that we see.
And don't we all wish for that?
Yeah, I think so. And I guess this is leading up to some sort of twisty kind of ending. I'm not sure, but it looks like the fucking coolest movie.
At the end, she's going to have been the Black Swan all along.
That's right. That's right. Who will emerge to become the real Swan?
This trailer does not look like an Edgar Wright movie to me.
No.
But I am in.
You know what? I mean, not tonally or anything, but it's kind of like how Paul Thomas Anderson felt about his work after he did Magnolia, where he said, I keep writing these things and it seems just like me. That's boring. I need to do something new. So then he went on to do, what was the movie he did? He did Punch Drunk Love, I think was after that. And then, There Will Be Blood and stuff like that came out. That's what this looks like. Edgar Wright's like, okay, I've done that other stuff that people like. I have other interests. I have other, and if you ever watch him get interviewed about movies, he's just as steeped in movie history as Quentin Tarantino is.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking very forward to Last Night in Soho. I will be watching that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be awesome.
By the way, the whole slowed down creepy pop song in a trailer has hit its nadir at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody, including Black Widow, has one in the opening credits of Smells Like Teen
Don't
Spirit.
we really blame Johnny Cash for this?
No,
I do.
No, it's the creep. It's the creep song at the beginning of
Social Network.
Social Network's trailer.
Didn't Johnny Cash's slow duets come out before that? Didn't he do Hurt before that?
He did, but it wasn't in a trailer.
No, but he slowed down other pop songs for his.
I think the slowing down of other pop songs had always been done. It's just that Hurt was a huge.
All right.
Was a huge hit, right? I mean, other people had done slowed down versions.
Oh, for sure.
For instance, what was it? Who's the band that did the Superstar? The Carpenters did Superstar.
Oh, Sonic Youth.
Sonic Youth did that. Don't you remember? You told me, and that was in the High Tension trailer. Yeah. I would say maybe even far as back as then is when they did that High Tension trailer.
Let's do the reverse. Let's take slow songs and speed them up.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that this is undercutting my point, but having Downtown, that song, as the background for Last Night in Soho, fucking rules.
Yeah.
Forget all your troubles.
Especially because we have that's the song that was played in Nashville at the Christmas bombing. The eerie song that ran through the streets.
That's right.
Was that song? So it's extra creepy for me.
I don't think we need to talk too much about Antlers. This is a horror movie that's coming out. Carrie Russell looks like a creature with antlers, and it's scary.
It's Wendigo.
It's Wendigo. Yeah.
Tusk.
It's Tusk. November 5th is the Eternals, and it looks pretty good.
I agree with you that this trailer didn't really do anything for me because it seems just like a standard Marvel trailer. But the subject matter I am geeked for, I think.
I hope we get some Chloe Zhao stuff in there.
Me too.
But yeah, trailer did not move the needle.
If history is any indication, no, we probably won't.
Yeah.
I think most directors get this job and they're sort of told, I mean, they may be allowed to do a couple of things, but if you veer away from that Marvel winning formula in any way,
they Edgar Wright you.
Yeah, Edgar Wright you. November 11th is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Looks good.
Yeah.
You guys think it looks good?
I only saw the most recent trailers. Is the only one I saw, and it looked good to me. It looked like it was pulling from the Stranger Things, where it's not going to be flat out comedy. It's going to actually have some creep factor to it here and there.
I also like the idea of it being out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else has been in the city and everything. It seems like movies always get hung up on this. You know, this is going on in the city. Like, I'd like to see a Purge movie out in the country somewhere.
That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, fucking Western style almost, right? Yeah,
exactly. So, I don't know. I have reservations about this movie. It does look good. The continued going back to watch YouTube videos of the Ghostbusters commercials around that one trailer I saw is like, okay, all right, okay, all right. lot of fan service, but we'll see. I like the setting.
We do have a solid director, Jason Reitman.
Yep.
And I don't know. Have you guys looked at the cast?
Yeah.
So,
Paul
like,
Rudd.
Everybody. Well, all the original people are in it.
Yeah.
Like Annie Potts is in this movie.
She's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I don't.
And it
remember
looks
seeing
like
her
at
in
the
trailer.
end they call Bill Murray or somebody.
I think that's Dan Aykroyd.
Is it Dan Aykroyd?
Spook Spectre.
But Bill
whatever
Murray's
his
in
name
it.
is.
Everyone who's alive is in this. So I hope they do that well.
You mean you didn't like it how they did in 2016?
No, that's exactly my point. Like, I would love to see them working together. Paul Rudd, a bunch of kids, and 4 old dudes with experience, and it becomes this. I just think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I agree.
November 19th, Top Gun Maverick, another movie that has been pushed back forever.
Talk about IMAXing that bitch.
Oh.
I'm going to IMAX the fuck out of that.
That's right.
thing.
I'm going to get the seat that's inside the screen.
I don't know if there's ever been a movie that's gone faster from that's dumb, I have no interest, to that looks rad, I'm in. But knowing the director is Kaczynski, and is Kaczynski?
Yeah, the Tron Legacy guy.
Yeah, and then and what he did with Only the Brave, which is amazing, and then seeing that first trailer, and I was sold. Like,
and you also know Tom Cruise at this point has the resume to where he's not going to do anything half-assed.
No, and he's probably already knows how to bomb Libya and shit from practicing.
He's doing that right now.
Yeah, I also think he has a good picker in that he's not going to do a Top Gun 2 just for cash.
Yeah.
He's only going to do it if he can challenge himself, if he thinks it's a good movie. So I have a lot of hopes for this. I think it'll be good.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I would have never like Top Gun 2 in the 90s when they were talking about, I think when they were first talking about it, maybe after 86 when they were first talking about it. I don't think I would have been excited about a Top Gun.
I don't think so either. What's crazy is going back and watching it, which you and I did fairly recently, how amazing that cinematography was, though.
Yeah.
And that was all the way back in 1987. 87? 86, where I didn't realize that they got a lot of one-shots with those jets, and they got a lot of, like, inside action. That flat spin that I think we ended up taking off a... Oh, well, I won't say that. It hadn't come out yet. That flat spin is terrific. And I don't know how they did that then.
Yeah.
So think about what they're going to do now. It's going to be awesome.
Rounding us out just before Thanksgiving, we also have on November 19th King Richard, which is Will Smith playing Richard Williams, the father of
Oscar
Serena,
bait.
the father of Serena and Venus Williams.
Also, can I just say, he seems like an asshole.
What, Richard Williams or Will Smith?
In the trailer, that man looks like an asshole. Like, and I saw somebody say, I saw the trailer on Twitter, I try not to do that, but underneath it somebody said, I hope this scene is in it. It was a real scene where somebody was interviewing one of the girls and said, why do you have so much confidence? And the dad interrupted and started yelling at the journalist. My daughter's going to be one of the greatest that blah, 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 blah. Like, I feel like there's a kind of a Tiger Woods similarity here where he pushed them so hard and was so adamant to anyone. I don't know if he's going to come off looking as Jesus-y as this movie thinks he is.
Well, I don't know if they're going for that, and I hope they don't. I mean, it's another goddamn biopic.
Yeah.
Well,
when we first started this podcast, I was like, I don't mind biopics. That was 6 years ago, and now I'm like, God damn it.
One thing that kind of fucked with me was we're going to make a documentary. We're going to make a biopic about Serena and Venus, and they're not the main characters.
Yeah.
They're not the main characters, and they're still in the twilight of their careers, but they're still playing.
Who knows what the movie's going to be, but the trailer is giving the credit for their success to the dad.
Yeah.
I hope the movie's not doing that, because they did that. And, you know, like if we did a biopic of Tiger Woods, and it was all Earl driving him to the golf course at 5 a.m. and being a dick.
Jangling his keys.
Be disappointed with all that shit.
I don't know, man. There's a possibility it's both, and one part of it was not good. Like, That's true. Extremely talented tennis players, but maybe they wouldn't have been as good if it wasn't for somebody who pushed them.
I think it's, now we're back to Whiplash. It's arguable maybe they wouldn't have been as good if he hadn't pushed them so hard, but
And Good Will Hunting too. Stellan Skarsgård in that movie. It's
Yep.
like, I am where I am today because I was pushed.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, you might be right. It may still be evil.
You're right, but you're evil.
Yes, that's right. So that does it for our our next 3 months preview of what's coming out. We'll do a holiday one if we're not ravaged by Delta variant by that point.
That felt good, man.
Yeah.
That felt good to look forward to a somewhat set schedule, at least for now.
I agree.
Felt like normal. I always looked forward to these episodes back in the day when we kind of had an idea of what was coming out when. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is nice to get back to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, keep going to SinCast presented by Cinemasins on Facebook. We're also on Cinemasins Twitter, Music Video Sins Twitter, Discord, and SoundCloud. That's going to do it for this episode. It's Chris Atkins and Jeremy Scott and Barrett Sher. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening. Comment on our episodes on our SoundCloud page. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit. And be sure to visit cinemasins.com.
Kids!
Oh, this is at Opryland. You guys are probably staying out there. And then I was like, there's no good places out by Opryland.
Santa Fe Cattle Company.
I like that place, but it's not good. And there's a catfish place called Cock of the Walk that's really, really good catfish and like good Southern food.
Why is it called Cock of the Walk?
I don't know why it's called Cock of the Walk. They have a cock on the sign.
Yeah, I passed it many times on Briley, and I've always wondered.
It's great. It's great catfish. Like, it's some of the best catfish that you'll have.
What
in
if
the
I
city.
hate catfish?
It's pretty great, like sides and like chicken and stuff like that too. I've always had the catfish.
Catfish is like you Southern people are weird about that catfish. I gotta be honest. Like,
yeah,
it's not that they don't have catfish in Indiana,
yeah,
but it's not everywhere, and
yeah.
it's everywhere here, and it tastes like dirt. It tastes like chewy dirt.
I am not a big catfish person either.
Chewy dirt.
Chewy dirt. The rain is chubby because the aliens come down to Earth in the raindrops. That's why it's chubby rain.
Yeah.
That's a little bowfinger for you. Start your day off right.
I don't know if you've had. Yeah, I'm sure you've had good catfish. I'm sure objectively good catfish. You
Okay,
just don't
objectively,
like it.
catfish is popular in the South because
No, I'm saying I was going to say that you got the wrong catfish,
it's
but I'm sure
everywhere,
you've had
and
good.
it's not good, and and people can afford it.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it.
Maybe it's an acquired taste. I hated wine the first time I had wine.
Now you love that shit.
I love that shit. I was watching Forgetting Sarah Marshall because I always am. And I love that part when he's trying to. She's like, "Do you feel anything? Because it hurts me." The Jack Brayer or whatever his name is. God put our mouths on our head for a reason.
No.
No.
What is the thing where it's like, God would not put a landfill next to a playground?
Yeah.
And there's, of course, I was watching Happy Endings again, and Penny, the Casey Wilson character, her boyfriend was like, "Oh, that's quaint," and she's like, "Quaint? Isn't that the area between a girl's penalty box and her goal?"
Nice.
I love the shit that they get away with in network shit. Like, my wife is watching Glee now.
Mm.
She's going back and watching these old, like, Gossip Girl she got through.
Mm-hmm.
She's watching Glee. And Jane Lynch, I forgot how great Jane Lynch is in that show.
Oh,
I never
she's
really
awesome.
watched all
I
of
haven't
it.
either.
But, like, she and Molly Shannon were having some sort of face-off, and she was like, "You do that to me again, I'll kick you straight in the taco."
Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons of Glee, and then I was.
Did you like it?
I was done. Yeah, I liked it, but I was done after the 2nd season. I don't remember why.
And now Ryan Murphy is a mogul.
Was he a mogul before that? Didn't he? What did he do before Glee?
Glee was the first time I remember hearing his name.
Nip Tuck.
Nip Tuck.
He did Nip Tuck, and then he did Glee, and then American Horror Story, kind of right on the
And the O.J.
heels of
Simpson thing, and the Clinton
Pose.
Lewinsky
Is he doing
thing.
Pose?
Huh?
Is he doing Pose? That FX series?
I don't know. I know he's doing a Clinton Lewinsky. The way they did the People versus O.J., they're doing a Clinton Lewinsky
didn't know
like
about that.
dramatized. Yeah. Beanie Feldstein is playing Monica
I like
Lewinsky.
her.
I was about to say something, but you'll put it in the outtakes, and I'll regret it.
I got one theory that we can put in outtakes real quick that I've been thinking a lot about. A Few Good Men.
Mm-hmm.
And something occurred to me that never has occurred to me before, is that Jessup might be right. Like, is he really all that wrong?
That's Santiago's life, where death,
No.
while tragic, saved lives.
It's not. He's culpable, but it's not his fault that Santiago died. He runs his unit the way he runs his unit, and his existence, while repugnant to you, probably reprehensible to you, probably saves lives. Not wrong.
What do you mean? How do you mean?
No, he says Santiago's death.
While tragic,
How would
Probably save
How does
lives.
that save lives?
the discipline, the code reds that they have down at Gitmo, the
He can't
way
just-
that he
can't
runs.
just leave the base and still save lives.
I think he would probably run his unit the way he ran Gitmo, though. I think he would off the record would encourage it as a disciplinary practice within the ranks.
He's already asked for a transfer though. Why is he getting code redded?
Because
you're talking about Santiago.
Yeah.
because
Because I thought that's what we were talking about.
yeah, it is. Jessup's reasoning is that to let him leave the base is to
Setting a
admit
precedent.
the failure of the system,
Mm-hmm.
and Santiago's death, while tragic, is within the system.
Oh, I see.
Can't make an omelet without
No,
breaking
I think what
some
you
eggs.
mean to say is not that Jessup was maybe right, but that
He's justified, maybe.
in his mind, I can absolutely see it.
Like if you had Markinson running that place and say he transferred off a few people that didn't want to be there, that kind of thing, there'd probably be a very small difference in the effectiveness of that unit, but it may be appreciable. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say 100% no. He's not. He's not right because just because of some idea that he left, it's some sort of failure in the system. The death was a failure in the system too. Even though that's not what he's intending to happen and everything, but most of the people, 99% of the people on that base love Jessup. They want to do everything for that guy. For someone to leave that base, they can say, "Oh, well, he's the failure," unless there's some idea that him leaving the base is going to cause others to want to leave the base.
Well, there's also the fence line shooting. So he's offering up information on Harold that may undercut the authority of his command at Gitmo.
He's 100% wrong.
There's your answer.
I will say that having someone like Jessup on the wall, you need me on that wall, you want me on that wall, is right. You do want to have somebody who's...
I also think his greater point that we don't want to know how the military sausage is made is correct.
Mm-hmm.
That we generally don't, and the only reason we even are aware right now is because somebody died.
Right.
Right. He's a complex character.
He is.
Don't I feel like the fucking asshole? No, one of the other things I was thinking about was setting up the rivalry between Caffey and Kendricks. Because Daniel's like, Lieutenant Kendricks, may I call you John? And he's like, no, you may not. And for some reason, I thought it was on the stand, and I thought that was to really set up, like, to show the jury what an asshole he was. But that was in the barracks when he was in Cuba looking for it. And I was like, why would he do that? But he's a casual cat, and they're contemporaries. They're equals. They're both lieutenants. So even though he calls Joe Joe, even though she outranks him, that's because he's in a casual environment. He and Sam are the same rank. He and Kendricks are the same rank. But Kendricks makes him call him Lieutenant Kendricks.
Well, and Kendrick doesn't have respect for the Navy.
Right. I love you, Navy boys.
Yeah, you guys, every time we need to go fight, you guys give us a lift. Also, it's like in Star Trek 4, where they go back in time and they come back with the whales and the woman from 1984, and they just put her on a starship as a crew member.
Yeah.
Or the kid at the end of Face Off that's Nicolas Cage's kid.
Yeah.
Now you're part of the family.
Yeah.
Child Protective Services, what?
Is it okay if we keep him?
Plus, he doesn't even tell Jessica Lange. He just shows up and he's like, hey.
It's not Jessica Lange.
Yeah, it's Joan Allen.
Joan Allen. Yeah, I get them messed up.
Yeah, they have a similar look.
It's like, sudden kid. You cool with this?
She is. Yes, we're
And then the daughter like does the little face wipe thing.
Yeah. We do have a spare bedroom, so
Jesus Christ. Jerry
Dingleberry.
He's playing Gene Cousineau.
Gene Cousineau, that's it.
It's there's a poster. I think Barry goes to his house, and there's a poster in the background that says, Gene Cousineau is 12 Angry Men.
And they don't call attention to it? Is
No,
it
it's
just
just in the background.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
God, I want to be in that writer's room. I bet that is fucking hilarious.
That's true. I mean, the thing is about late night shows, though, is there's a sort of a limit to what you can do. That's why I think a lot of people gravitated towards David Letterman way back in the day when he was the alternative to Johnny Carson, and why people gravitated to Conan when he was the alternate to everybody else, because they were able to kind of get away with some silly things, some sillier things. But you look at these late night things, and it's like here's some talented people doing stuff that's, I mean, they probably wrote it that day, and
absolutely,
and they hit gold a lot. It's just that it's not as funny as they can be a lot of times.
All those shows, Kimmel, Fallon, Seth Meyers, Colbert, they all run together for me. None of them has done any job of differentiating themselves from the others. Actually, the only one that has is Jimmy Fallon, and that's only because he has the roots. And, like, they're able to... They do all those little tiny instrument songs with him and whatnot, and Kimmel can't do that. But honestly, every time I see a clip of so-and-so from last night's talk shows being interviewed, I don't even remember who the fuck is interviewing them. I just remember what they're saying in that clip.
I was watching a Seth Meyers thing with Lord the other day where it's like day drinking is what it's called, I guess. I guess it's a series he does with a bunch of people, but and it was just a bunch of, like, you know, them getting drunk in the day and him being stupid about her songs and everything. And it's fun, especially if you're late at night, you're trying to get to sleep and everything. But when you're like actively punching on it to watch it for entertainment, it's like, that's amusing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of amusing.
I saw a headline from that appearance that was worded weirdly that said, Lord thrills her fans with a makeup-free appearance on Seth Meyers. And I thought, who the fuck wrote that headline?
Yeah.
I don't think her fans were, like, taken to Insta to, like, oh, the goddess, she didn't wear makeup. She looked good without you wanted to mention that she wasn't wearing makeup, but you couldn't figure out a way to do it. That's how that headline was born. I'm not even sure you should notice if she's wearing makeup or not, but hey.
I like Lord. I like Lord a lot.
I do too, but she's probably weird.
She is. When I was on vacation, I had this dream, very real dream, that she was passionately in love with me.
Nice.
I mean, I was with her too, but that's no surprise.
Right.
But she's in love with me. Like, we were Skyping. She was in New Zealand, and I was in America. And she was like, I can't stop thinking about you. I was like, Lord, we can't do this. I'm married.
I'm
she
married,
was like,
Lord.
And she was like, I don't care. And so I woke up and I thought, Lord was in love with me for about 5 seconds. I was like, yeah!
See, I usually get the shit end of that stick. Like, I'm waking up thinking some horrible thing is real for the first 5 minutes of my day. Oh, I've got teeth growing out of the roof of my mouth. Oh, wait, no, that was just a dream. Like, I don't have good dreams. I just have, like...
teeth growing out of the roof of my mouth.
Okay, so actually, if I have not told you the story, when I was in high school and I had braces and retainers and all that bullshit, I had a nightmare that I had teeth growing out of the roof of my mouth, and I was in the bathroom looking in the mirror before I realized, oh, this was just a dream. It didn't actually happen.
Was it partially because you had the retainer in?
Oh, yeah.
Like
I
you
was having to go
felt
to the
pressure
orthodontist every 3 weeks for mouth invasions.
to get tightened and shit like that?
Yeah, man, that shit was awful. Like, braces are the worst.
Oh, they are the worst.
And there's just, I mean, anybody who had them in the 90s has nightmares. I'm sure of it.
Did you ever have the piece of wire that would come off of your trunk tooth and start roofing into your lip?
Your lip, yeah. Yep.
Oh, it was the worst. Yeah, and then every time you went for a tightening, you couldn't eat anything.
It's like...
Well, because you would bite down and your teeth were literally too tight to bite anything.
Yeah, it's the worst. My brother didn't have to have braces, that bastard.
Oh, wow. Well, they turned out nicely, though.
They turned out, well,
Both of you have very nice teeth.
8 of these are fake, so...
And you've got a couple.
All for naught.
These two right here, man. Right here. Fake as shit.
However much my parents spent on those braces.
Fake.
I did not do them well.
You know what I noticed, though? I thought I was an asshole kid for having to get fillings and stuff when I was younger because I had cavities and shit like that. But now, having watched Dune, I realize that everybody has cavities.
Oh, when they open their mouths and you see all the metal in there and shit?
Like, there's several scenes in Dune where people are like, and you can see all their fillings.
Yeah,
and it's like,
that's the real shit,
and
too.
it's like, holy shit. Like, everybody has that, I guess.
Yeah, well, it was before they were doing it with white shit. Like, all my parents' fillings are visible.
Yeah.
And were when I was growing up. And somewhere around, I don't remember what it was, but they stopped using like lead and other damaging metals and started using something that was white. And so I've got fillings that if I'm ever in Dune screaming, you won't see my fillings.
Yeah, you'll see mine. Mine, I have those, whatever.
Do you have metal fillings? Mm-hmm. That's so you can still beat a lie detector test if you want to.
Ooh, that's very interesting.
That was one of the ways when I was doing the forensic psych. There's 2 ways. There's the tack in the shoe, and then there's the gum wrapper in your teeth. So you want to create a ceiling effect for all the answers if you go to a polygraph. And I don't know if you've experienced this because I've never had metal fillings, but if you're chewing gum and you get some of the aluminum wrapper in the filling, apparently it creates some sort of reaction to where if you chomp down on it, it's apparently extremely painful.
Oh, yeah. Maybe mine aren't that then. Maybe
it may be a certain type
they
of
might be a certain
metal.
type of, like, it may not even be metal. It may just be still a silver or black or gray or whatever fucking filling. That
okay.
So I doubt it's metal because I feel like I would have experienced some really weird shit.
Yeah, apparently that's hard to do. So if you do that, it's virtually undetectable if you've got it that far back. And on the control questions, they're like, is your name Jeremy Scott? You just bite down on that.
Yeah, but then every answer spikes, and they know you're doing something. Like in that movie Harsh Times with Christian Bale, where the guy doing the polygraph says, I've been doing this since you were swimming in your daddy's balls, and you're either clenching your butthole or you've got a tack in your shoe, and I'm going to tell you right now, stop it.
Doesn't matter. That's the admissible evidence is polygraph data, and if you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you got a tack in your shoe that you press on,
what's crazy in that
clench
movie
your butthole,
is he's doing that, and he goes through, he injects clean piss into the tip of his thing.
Oh, I didn't.
Before he goes in to take a piss test. It's acting, but it looks excruciating. And like Freddie Rodriguez is in the passenger seat going, oh, man. He goes through all of this, and they still find out he smoked weed, and they still offer him the job.
What, Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Oh, Christian Bale did that for real.
Oh, I bet he did. A method actor.
He injects clean piss.
Yes.
Reversal.
Yes, he takes out a turkey baster and puts it in. And he screams. It sounds really awful.
Wow. And David Ayer was like, yeah, give me that take again.
sounds very. It makes me feel smarter just listening to him talk.
You're like the girls in Love Act. Well, you haven't seen Love Actually, but when the British guy goes over to America and meets up with Alicia Dushku and Shannon Elizabeth and the other hot girls.
Does that movie cross paths with Jay and Silent Bob somehow?
No, he goes to the States because he's like, women love guys with the British accent, even if they're stupid like me. And he goes over.
But Elijah Duthku and Shannon Elizabeth are both in this movie?
Sorry,
not
Alicia
them.
Cuthbert.
Yeah.
You scared me for a second.
But
I
he
thought
needs to drink
Alicia
every time
Cuthbert, it's
Barrett gets
January
something wrong.
Jones, and it's
Jones.
some model that was hot shit back in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, but yeah, like he goes into the bar. He goes to this average bar
In Milwaukee.
and these like all three of them come in and he just starts talking to them, and like the next scene he's being led into their apartment or whatever, and you see the shadows of them throwing clothes all over the place.
Right.
Because he's British.
I want to just work the opposite. Like if I go over to London and talk American, will I have a threesome?
Yeah,
They do love.
That's how that works.
They do love American accents, from what I've experienced.
yes. Daniel Radcliffe was saying something like, I can't remember what this was in context for, but he said he's like, you guys out here are always making fun of Southern accents, but like out in England we like that. That's like because we think of cowboys and stuff when we.
Oh, interesting.
When I went to Cardiff, Wales, I got a lot of comments on my accent. They were like, "Oh, hello."
Have we even started the show?
No.
I might have to get more water, actually.